Hey guys, hey, it's Bri here coming at you guys with another video, and welcome back to BooTober. Today I'm going to talk to you guys about my tips and tricks I have for living on a single income. I know I just answered a couple of them in my Q&A, but I wanted to touch on it a little bit further. So with that said, if you guys can please, if you haven't already, please subscribe to this YouTube channel, and if you like this video, well then hit the like button down below. And with that said, let's get to talking. Alright, so my tips and tricks are this. First things first is have 3 separate savings accounts. Here's why. I love having 3 separate savings accounts. I actually have a savings account for a rainy day. I have a savings account for fun. So if I want to go somewhere or I want to do something, then I have a savings account for that. And then I have a savings account for insurance or like medical things. So the rainy day one is more or less, I think I usually have at least 2,000 in there. And then the fun savings account will be for like if I want to travel, I want to go to Greece, so I'm putting money into that savings account. And then the other savings account is for medical reasons. So if something happens medical wise, I am taken care of and I am fine. The rainy day, I usually cut in, like if I'm gonna buy furniture or something like that, then I consider that a rainy day. You know what I'm saying? So that's also what I use that savings for also. If I were to, like if the roof or something, you know, happens, then I have that savings account for that also. So having 3 savings accounts will definitely help you so that you don't have any sudden like expenses that you can't afford. But also having 3 separate ones helps because you know what? Sometimes we might have to pull out of our fund savings account or insurance savings account to pay for stuff, but at least you have that money. You know what I'm saying? Like at least you have it, and be grateful for that. So here's the thing. There was a time in my life where I couldn't afford to buy groceries. Like I couldn't afford to go to the grocery store, and it sucked. I'm not gonna lie. So I chose right then and there to not let that ever happen again. Like that was never gonna be my life. And don't get me wrong, when I first moved here, it was kind of tough because yes, I had just moved, I had spent all of my savings, and so I was having to build things back up again. Now I'm getting comfortable again. Now it's, you know, I'm getting there, slowly but surely, we are getting there. But it is happening and it's great and I love it. But I did, when I worked at the Hilton Garden Inn, this was clear back in like 2015, 16, I can't remember. But I was not making that much. Like for what I had to do or put up with, I did not make enough. I'm not gonna lie. But I made just enough to pay for the bills and my rent, and that was it. And I had to use a credit card to buy groceries. I don't even know how many times. Looking back now, I realize I could have probably asked more people for help or something like that. And we'll get into another tip of what I could have done. But I racked up some credit card bills, and it wasn't because I was spending or buying things that I couldn't afford. Yes, there was a time in my life when I was living a champagne diet on a beer budget, but at this point in time, I was just using those cards to merely get by, like for gas, to get to work, groceries. That was it. When I left the Hilton, I actually freezed my credit cards. So I literally put them in the freezer and decided I was done living that. So this last couple of months, I have actually paid most of my stuff down. I have medical bills, and that was the other thing that I had to use a credit card for. I had been paying for health insurance. I paid like $250 a month for health insurance, and it only paid maybe, I think it was like $400 total of a medical expense that I had. And this was like a girl problem, which I thought was covered by health insurance. And even my doctor, like, they were all going to bat trying to help me out. They were calling Blue Cross Blue Shield. I mean, they were doing everything they could. But the lab fees were not even covered under insurance, which really freaking sucked for me, because those were $2,000 and some dollars for tissue samples. For 2 tissue samples that had to go back, because you had the pre ones, and then you had the after, and then you had another one, I think. I can't remember exactly how it goes, but so that in itself, I had to use a credit card because they wanted to be paid right then and there. Whereas my doctor was like, yes, you can do a monthly payment, like that's fine, we're okay with that. But the lab fees, they wanted to be paid right then and there. They weren't even like willing to help me out whatsoever. So that kind of sucked all in its own. I have gotten most of that paid down though, to the point where it's not hindering me anymore. And this last year, I decided to stop choosing to let debt run my life. I have actually chosen that I will no longer allow debt to be a part of my life. Like, it does not have any meaning, and I put it into my heart that it no longer has meaning, and that what really has meaning and what I really love is money. So there used to be a time in my life where I thought money was like this evil thing, and oh my gosh, I don't want money, I don't want it, it's horrible, all it does is make people greedy and that kind of stuff. And I chose instead to start looking at money with love and positivity, and I have seen money flow a little bit easier. And I paid off a couple of those cards. So it is possible. I understand it is hard, but it is possible to get out of your crappy situations, I promise you. So the next thing that I recommend is to have another source of income. So by having another source of income, you're kind of allowing the universe to send more money. You're letting the universe know that you want to make more money, that you believe you deserve more money. And here's the thing with jobs. They're great, they're steady, but you're set at this income, and you're just kind of going at this steady pace, and that's really what you do. Sometimes you can get a raise, you know, that kind of stuff, but you know, 9 times out of 10, not everybody's gonna get a raise, right? So by having an extra income, whatever it is, like selling something, if you get into like Mary Kay or something like that, and I don't want to bash like a brand, but I used to sell Mary Kay, and they were really into you buying the inventory. And that was a stupid idea all on its own. Like, that was a horrible idea, because they talk you into using a credit card to buy your inventory, and then you're stuck with all this inventory you can't even sell if you're not passionate about it. And I was never passionate about makeup. Like, I like putting on makeup, but I was never passionate enough to sell it. And I was never passionate enough about Mary Kay to be selling it. I mean, it's great stuff. It really helped, and I did like some of the cleansers, but I also thought that it was too expensive, and I just, you know, I could never get into it. I could never get into the parties and that kind of stuff. I just didn't like it. But I ended up having all this inventory. So that is the thing. If you are going and looking the route for extra income, look at things that don't require you to have inventory, or that you are truly passionate about. So if you are gonna sell Mary Kay products or anything that requires you to have inventory, make sure you're passionate about it. So like my store that I am still setting up, Wolf's Hidden Gems and Jewels, I have inventory, but I am passionate about it. I love making these bracelets. The candles that I am looking at bringing into the store and the other jewelry pieces, I am super passionate about it. I'm not sitting there thinking, oh, well, you know what? I mean, maybe it'll sell, but I love their candles. I love their jewelries. Every wholesaler that I talk to, I am super passionate about it, and I'm super excited about selling it. When I do my readings, I am super excited about doing a reading with you guys. I am super passionate, but at the same time, I am also sending out the intention that you guys receive money back after this reading. So, and that is the next thing. Do things with love. Money loves love. So if you are really and truly wanting to manifest money, do things with love. Stop living from a greedy standpoint and start living from love. Start doing things to help other people. But don't help other people because you think it's going to bring money. Don't ever do that. Like, that right there is going to be the greediest thing, and it's going to hinder so much. I never ever put out, when I put out like my new moon things, when I put out like my stuff from my store, I never do it with the intention that I'm greedy. I need all the money. I do it with the intention of helping other people, because I really and truly want to, and that is my passion, and that is my purpose here on earth, is to help other people. When I do these videos, I make them to help other people. Why? Because that is what I am most passionate about. I love helping other people. When I write a blog post, I do it in the intent of helping somebody else. Maybe my blog only reaches one person, but it helps that one person, and I am okay with that. Maybe my YouTube videos only reach like 2 people, but it helps those 2 people. I am okay with that, because it helps that person that's watching this video right now. If you are watching this right now and you're like, oh my gosh, this video helps me, then I am totally and completely okay with that. I make no money off of YouTube. I make none. But yet I still post my videos, because I hope that one of my videos will help at least one person. And to me, that is totally and completely worth it. So do things with love, and it will bring manifestation into you. The next thing that I honestly, and I know we kind of got onto a money rant, but the thing is living alone, it is money, but don't look for things that are too expensive. So if you want to buy a house, it is totally feasible to buy a house. It is totally feasible to build your credit back up. Look for the fast ways and the cool ways to build up your credit. You know, look at like your credit card debt and look at your bills and stuff like that. And again, stop looking at it as debt. Start saying that you are grateful for paying for everything in full with cash. You are grateful to pay for everything in full with cash. I say that every single day, and I have watched as that side starts to deplete and then my savings starts to go up. My next tip is don't be prideful. If somebody wants to help you, accept their help. If they're in the position to help you, then allow them to help you. I have allowed people to finally come into my life. I used to be the most prideful person. Like, I'm like, oh no, I have to do it all on my own. I can't accept your help. Like, I can't do that. Now I'm okay with it. Yes, there are still moments where I'm like, I don't know if I can accept your help. That's kind of scary. But I allow them to help me. Why? Because they want to. And because it's out of love. It's not out of like, oh, you know what, here's some freaking money, freaking selfish person. No, it's because they understand that I am chasing my dreams and I am finally doing what I have always wanted to do, and they're willing to help me out. And I need to cut pride and allow them to help me. So I do allow people to help me out every once in a while. So, and I do have some amazing people in my life that do really help me, and some people that have come back into my life that have really helped me a lot in the last couple months. So when you're going to the grocery store, my next tip is this. When you're going to the grocery store, make sure you have a list. So I have an app on my phone, it's called Shopping. And let me actually pull it up for you guys. So it looks kind of, I don't know if you guys can see that. It's really hard to see. Oh, there it goes. So it looks kind of like that. And so what's really nice about this app is that I can put the price of everything, and then I can also put the tax. So when I check everything, I know exactly how much it's going to cost at the grocery store and shop around. So I usually shop at Aldi's, but I will coupon. If I can get coupons for Harris Teeter, then I will get coupons and I will go to Harris Teeter. But I will shop around and I will cut coupons, and I stick to the shopping list. So when you go to the grocery store, stick to your list. Always stick to your list. Your list is key. I splurge on things like fruits and vegetables, but 9 times out of 10, I also go to the farmer's market. And I will get my fruits and vegetables at the farmer's market because it's a whole lot cheaper to buy at the farmer's market. You can get like a box full of fruits and vegetables for like 25 bucks. Now, I get that a lot of people in Wyoming are watching this right now going, well, Bri, we don't have a freaking farmer's market. Remember, it snows too much around here. Do you remember that? Do you remember living here? Yes, I remember. So I'm not going to leave you guys completely out. Trust me. In Wyoming, I shopped at Smith's because Smith's actually has an app on your phone that you can go through and you can cut coupons for everything that you are shopping for. And it would cut my bill down to, actually when I shopped at Smith's, I was paying like for 2 weeks, and I do 2 weeks worth of groceries. Every time I go to the grocery store, I do 2 weeks worth of groceries, and I would spend like $83 at the grocery store. And even here, I think I do 2 weeks worth of groceries, and I think the most I've spent is $95 at the grocery store. But that's what I do. I do 2 weeks worth of groceries at $95. And the reason I can do that is because A, I'm cutting coupons, B, I'm shopping around. 9 times out of 10, I will go to Aldi's because Aldi's has the cheapest stuff. It's good quality and it's cheaper because there's no checkers, and because there's no bags also, because you pretty much have to like bag your own stuff. But that's okay. Well, there are checkers, but there's no baggers. That's what it is. But that's okay. It's, you know, we can pack our own crap, you guys, because it's a whole lot cheaper. You know what I'm saying? So look for ways to do that. Don't spend money on things that you don't need. And trust me, I get this. I go to Hobby Lobby all the time and I'm like, oh my gosh, I need that. But I do the walk away game. So I will walk away from it. If I still want it in 2 weeks, then I will go back and get it. But I have to want it in 2 weeks and I have to save up for it. So if I can't like negotiate with myself why I need it, and I will negotiate with myself. I will give myself a little piece of paper and I will have a little conversation with myself also. So if it's really out there, out the budget, and I'm like, ooh, I really need this, or ooh, I will negotiate with myself. I will go back and forth. And if at the end of the day, I cannot prove to myself why I absolutely need that, then I don't. And it's really great because I have started to live a more minimalist life than I used to. We don't need a bunch of crap. We don't need a bunch of clutter. We don't need a bunch of things in our home just because somebody else does. So if you go to somebody's house and you're like, oh my gosh, I totally want that statue, or oh my gosh, I totally think that's cool, or I love their decorations, and then you go and you're copying them, then it's not your home anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's somebody else's home because you've copied what they have. Make your home your unique place. It's your place to decorate the way that you want. And what you're gonna notice is you're actually not gonna have as much stuff as you did before. So using the 2 week rule is very key. I use that a lot, especially in decorating, because I have had to buy all new decorations for my home and I love it. But I will also use the 2 week rule, and I will go to places like the Salvation Army and stuff like that because they have the coolest things. Make sure you sage your stuff before you bring it into your house and cleanse it. But they have the coolest things and I actually really like it. So, and then the last thing that I want to leave you guys with is find things that are free. I find things that are free all the time. While I do love to go out and eat and I do love to go to the movies, but I set money aside each month. Like, I have a certain amount of money. Usually it's about like 40 bucks. And once that's gone, like, I can't go out to eat. I can't go to the movies. Like, it's gone. Okay. And I do first put, hello, Artemis. I just got attacked by the cat. I do first put money into my savings. So before I even pay my bills, I pay my savings account first. So I pay myself first. I never ever pay my bills first. I pay my savings account first. So I know I kind of jumped over what my last thing was, but I do. I pay myself first, and then I pay my bills, and then I go and get my groceries and whatever else I need. And then whatever money is left over, then I'm like, okay, well, you know, I can go and do that, or I can go and buy that because I have that money left over. You know what I'm saying? But the very last thing that I do is free. I love going and finding free stuff. So for one thing, staying in and eating in, I love to cook. That's free. Cooking for myself, that's free. Like, I already bought those groceries, so I don't have to pay somebody to make that food for me. I don't have to pay the waiter. I don't have to tip, you know, even though I recommend tipping a lot because they do a lot. But being home and finding stuff at home is free. That's why most times I'm a homebody. But going and hiking, or going out in nature, or going for a walk, or just, you know, enjoying the sunset, those are all free things. Going to the beach, going up in the mountains, going hiking in the mountains, going, you know, camping. Well, camping's not really free, but I mean, when you think about it, you have to buy all the stuff to go camping. But most of that stuff is free, and that's what I do. I try to find free things to do. Drawing is free. Reading, it's free. So I find a lot of free things that I love to do, and that's what I will go do. So I hope that this video helped, and I hope that those of you guys that are living on a single income, that you are doing amazing and wonderful, and you receive a lot of money in abundance this week and can go and do whatever you want to do. But with that said, I love you guys very, 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 very much, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.